Hey guys, Kristen Smith here, and this is my episode 11 review of The Punisher called Danger Close. Now, I knew this was going to happen. It was really only a matter of time, but it does not lessen the impact of this episode because I knew it was coming up. Basically, David's family is taken a hostage. I think we all knew that something was going to happen involving them. It's nice to see that they didn't do it sooner or later. I think that this episode makes sense. I think in my previous reviews, I thought that there was only 12 episodes, but there are definitely 13. So we still have, two episodes after this. And I think that the setup for this was well done and they paced it well. But, of course, because David's family is captured, Frank is obviously going to get them back. And that's kind of what this episode sets up. And David's daughter gets away. She's not kidnapped. She actually sneaks off. And so we actually get a cool scene where David and his daughter reunite. It's a really sweet scene, and there's no like, why did you do this? There's no explanation. We just see, the daughter so happy that she has her dad back. And, it's some well needed happiness in these very very dark episodes that I feel like are coming up. And this episode in particular I thought was fairly dark. I can only imagine that the last two are going to be insane because the few before this really haven't been. But at this point, we get the return of the iconic Punisher outfit, the armor with the skull and everything. Like, really cool. I know that some people were predicting that we wouldn't see it until the end of the season, and so you were all wrong. It showed up in episode 11, so almost the end of the season, but it's still really cool. And I think it's symbolic of the mindset that Frank is in because up until this point, he's been working with David and they've been taking it, slow. They've been doing things in a way that Frank wouldn't normally do. And at this point, Frank is he is pissed and he will do whatever he has to get these people back. And it's definitely a different mindset. And up until now, I feel like it's been Frank doing, everything. And now we're back and the Punisher is the person doing everything at this point. So basically, Frank knows that Russo is going to track them down to their bunker. He sends Micro off to go get his daughter and away from the bunker, where he's basically setting the thing up to be a death trap. And so, when these forces come in, Frank basically just kills everything in sight. And it's about as cool as it sounds. It's a really epic sequence, really. You get a little bit of this like silent assassin vibe where he's taking people out and trying to stay under the radar as long as possible. And then once he's ready to reveal that he's here killing everybody, it's just an all out gunfight where Frank is very obviously in the stronger position. He's hid weapons all over this bunker where only he knows where they are, and he has the whole place situated and planned so that wherever he goes he has a new weapon to take out and to surprise them with, and they're not prepared for these tactics. If he's shooting them with a shotgun, they'll do different things than if he's got a rifle or a pistol. It's just different tactics. He's really throwing in different weapons at an astonishing pace. And these people don't know how to react to this, and it's very apparent because it's not super hard for him to basically just kill an entire battalion of men. It's pretty impressive, but really, I think the return of the Punisher episode, it's safe to say that this is only the beginning of the craziness that we are going to see in this show. This was already pretty crazy, and obviously Frank is fairly injured by just, he's been shot at a lot, and he's been injured a lot in the past few days, especially, we don't I didn't talk about it, but he is incredibly injured after going and saving Karen. I mean, he took a lot of shots for her. A lot of stuff happened, and he comes back to the bunker, and he just has to accept that he can't do everything on his own. He has David help him. It's really cool. I mean, just a good setup to the fact that he is actually trusting David and does care about him, and that when David's family does get captured, that Frank will do anything to protect them. And on top of all this stuff with Frank, we see Rollins. Obviously, Rollins has not been in the last few episodes very strongly, but at this point, Rollins is ready to kind of move in as like the head of the CIA. And so he's got a lot of stuff that he doesn't want coming forward. Unfortunately, some of it is coming forward or going to come forward. And basically, he's ready to make Russo his scapegoat. He's ready to say that Russo was in charge of all the illegal activities that happened in Kandahar, and Russo has no idea. And so there's no way that Russo won't find out about this. There's no way that Rollins will get away with what he's doing. He's being pushed into a corner, and he's acting in a way that is very much cutting himself off from any support that he currently has. He thinks that he's invincible at this point. He thinks that he's too powerful to die. And the current head of the CIA is not a fan of what he's done in Kandahar, so she's not going down with this ship. Like, she's not going to let that happen. I'm not sure what is going to happen in the next few episodes. All I know is that Rollins is not going to take his situation lying down, and there is absolutely no way that Russo doesn't find out about this, and there is no way that there is not a wedge driven between Rollins and his support network. And then Russo at this point is just busy threatening David's family, and there's now this rundown clock that they find in the bunker after Frank leaves and kills everybody. And it's the Kandahar tapes, and there's a countdown clock, and I mean, I think we can assume that what it is it's counting down the amount of time it's going to be until the tapes are released. So obviously they don't want that happening because it's very incriminating, and so we'll see what happens. I thought this episode was great. I think that things are really moving forward. Obviously, this is the end game. I mean, 11, 12, 13, and we're done. And, I mean, this is already pretty dark, and it's only going to get darker. There's no way that the next two episodes are not just ramped up from this one by tenfold. So, I really loved it. I think they're doing a great job still. I have not felt like one episode does not belong, and that's great for one of these seasons. Just really, I love this show. So let me know what you think of the show, of this episode, in the comments below. You can find my other reviews for The Punisher if you've missed any of them right on over there. You can subscribe to my channel right on over there. And I want to thank you all for watching. I will see you all in the next episode.